What's going on, good people? Your favorite coach back at it again. You already know we're going to get into this thing. I looked at some of your comments as far as the last show that we did. I wanted to go ahead and speak on some things that I saw and give a little bit more context as far as why I came up with the teams that I came up with as far as the top three, or the top two, and my sleeper. And then also why some folks got a little bit upset about a particular team that I didn't name as far as being one of the top two teams or the sleeper team coming out of the East. We're going to do one for the West as well, so I just want everybody to know, y'all stick around, tune in, tap in, tell a friend and friend. We're going to do it all, okay? But, yeah, guys, there's some things we got to really consider when it comes down to when we play this favorite game that we love to talk about, and some of us has played football. There's a lot of things that go into this thing because I'm telling you right now, you always want to make sure you dot all your I's and cross all your T's when you're out there on that field, because sometimes you don't keep that head on the swivel. Guess what? You're going to get your head not smooth off. You know, I put a bleep in there, so I can give you that word. But, guys, we're going to go ahead. We're going to jump on in this thing because, like I said, I know y'all like, Coach, what you got going on? You over there, you acting silly. What's happening with you? Listen, we're going to go ahead and jump on in this thing right now. We're going to talk about it right after this. Your favorite coach back at it again. 10 toes down, about to tell you how it all went down. This is Tomorrow League Sports Network with your host, Coach Walker. If you're new to the channel, please like, share, subscribe. Hit that notification bell so you can get all upcoming videos. For all my leaders out there, welcome back. Y'all know the drill. Y'all know the routine. If you haven't done so already, please like, comment, and share these videos. And tap in a friend or two and tell them to come on in. There's nothing but positive vibes. We're just having a good time talking about HBCU sports. And don't forget, you can follow us on all social media platforms. The links are listed down below in the description. So without further ado, we're going to go ahead and jump on in this thing. Because they're like, Coach, all right, give it to us. Well, listen, I'm going to preface this right now so we get this out the way. Everything that I'm getting ready to say, there's no type of dig, no type of malice, no type of anything towards no teams, no players, no coaches, no nothing. We clear on that, okay? So now, we're going to go ahead and get on in this thing because they're like, Coach, okay, give it to me. Listen, I'm going to be honest with you. I have to be honest with you. With doing this, sitting down, taking an opportunity to really dig in and get some context as far as what's going on with the teams, as far as the players, different things that's happening within the program, you learn something new every day. And being a journalist as well as an entertainer, which I'm entertaining you guys with the content that I provide to you, sometimes you find things that you have to really dive a little deeper into to get a better understanding as far as what's going on. And not only that, but then you tend to use critical thinking when it comes down to, okay, let's look at certain scenarios. And then when you can put these pieces together, you get an understanding of exactly what's going on that leads you to leads you to the answer that you come up with. And like I said, we got to be honest with how things are shaping up in the SWAC East right now, because like I said before, everybody want to hear their favorite team's name called. Now, I got a question I'm going to ask you guys. Would you prefer for your team to be the last one standing and you hold up the trophy? Or would you rather be that guy that's sitting here and you holding up a piece of paper saying, see, they ranked us #1 in the preseason, and then you look like turd when it comes time to cross the finish line? That's all I'm trying to ask. That's all I'm asking. Because right now I'm looking at the long haul. I don't look at things that's face value as far as what's in front of me. I would sit there and dig in. You get what I'm saying? I want to dig in and see what's going on. And like I said, there's been, multiple coaching changes within the SWAC itself. You got position coaches, you got coordinators, you got head coaches. There's a lot of changes going on. So with change, you have to find a way to navigate through those waters to get things moving in the direction that they need to move. Now, I'm going to be honest with you. Last season, a lot of folks said that Jackson State wasn't going to win but 3 or 4 games in the season because all the turnover that they had, the coaching turnovers, the athletes, things of that nature. Okay. Excuse me. And let me not forget coordinators as well. They won 7 games last season. They won 7-4, all right? Alabama State, their nucleus was together. Their coaching staff was there with one another. I believe the only change that they had was on defense, in which defense was stellar because they had a man that was on that defense that was a bad man. And Colton Adams, that dude was lights out. I'm going to miss that kid because you know why? That young man should have been given more props as far as his play on the field than what was given to him during that time while he was at Alabama State. I'm just going to call it how I see it. Some folks may agree, some folks may disagree, and that's all well and great. But I say all of that to say this. There's a new offensive coordinator that's coming into Alabama State, right? when I looked at, I looked at the landscape as far as how everything moved within the office that he ran over at Winston-Salem State. Is there some semblance of the pieces that's in the cupboard that he can possibly do that at Alabama State? Absolutely. Will there be some type of wrinkles here and there that he will use to try to throw off teams? Absolutely. I would hope so. But when you look at the dynamics as far as how everything was set up based on what they ran last season, as far as the different packages that they put out there on the field, I said, okay, I can see how some of this would fit for Alabama State this upcoming season as far as the offense being ran in the manner which is being ran. Now, I say all of that to say this. Andrew Body, I'm going to answer the question that somebody asked. Told him, man, coach, you crazy. How in the world could you not pick Alabama State? You're hating on Alabama State and not picking them first as far as we're coming out of the SWAC for this season. Let me break something down to you. I love this kid. This is a wonderful young man. Great family. Everything that he has going on for him. His elevation is out of this world. His ceiling, he has not even come close to touching his ceiling yet as far as what he will be capable of doing out there on that field with that ball in his hand. But there's one key ingredient that really stands out to me, and that is this young man has not played in almost what? I want to say maybe close to a year. Little over a year. He has not played. Yes, you can go shells and T-shirts and practice all day long. You can go out there with full equipment and send everything, every type of package you want to send at him out there on that field playing defense. But there's one thing you got to keep in mind. That game speed that's going to come from other teams, you cannot manipulate that. You can't. There's no way in the world that's going to be able to get out there in front of that young man for him to really see exactly what's coming at him until he's out there to see it and then make the necessary adjustments. That is one of the critical reasons why I said that. Not only that, but Keshawn Johnson is no longer there with the program. That young man moved on as far as decided he was going to jump in the portal and go from there. Now, I didn't heard the conversation, they was just throwing him the ball all the time for whatever reason. No, that young man was open, and when that ball came to him, guess what? He was catching that sucker. And if I'm not mistaken, he put the team in position to beat Jackson State when they played Jackson State last year for homecoming. Yes, they had their special teams and things of that nature that they were able to use to their advantage to beat Jackson State. That's all well and great. But at the end of the day, that young man was out there balling his behind off, in which he should have got some credit as far as what's going on. And not, this whole, they was using him a little too much. They wouldn't listen. If you're not out there on the field doing the things that you need to do for you to get your behind open, it's just not going to happen. You're not going to see no passes. I'm just saying. Now, the dark horse that I had coming out of the SWAC. I'm going to go ahead and step off of Alabama State and move on to this. And now let me say the last statement. Another reason why I went against that is because of the fact that there's a lot of pieces that's missing on that team from last year. I stated that in the previous show that I did as far as the athletes that they lost. I'm like, you lost your All-American cornerback. I'm like, come on, man, that defense was stout last year. Was it second against the run? You're second against the run, third against the pass. Or third against the pass, second against the pass, third against the run. What are we talking about? Those are a lot of different pieces that you got to fill in there. Now, I do understand Coach did have some young folks out there playing on the field last season, which they're coaching them up. Again, I got to see what you're doing. This is the business. Football is the business of what have you done for me lately. I forget it, and you got to feel like the quarterbacks when they back in the backfield. You got to forget about the last play and move on to the next one to go ahead and get it out your head for you to move that ball down the field and get your team in position for you guys to win a game or put points on the board. That's how it rolls. So coach is going to stand on that as far as with, the direction that why he feels the way that he feels. Now, excuse me, guys. I got the lawn guy out here cutting the grass right now. I got my dog sitting down here irritating me, he wants to play, and I'm trying to stay focused on what's going on. But when you look at everything that's going on right now, everything that transpired, you have to take into consideration all of the different pieces that's out there on the team. You got to take into consideration pieces that you lost, those that you gained. Even the athletes that's coming into the program. You got the quarterback from over at linebacker from Arkansas Pine Bluff. Phenomenal young kid. Matter of fact, he outpaced Adams last season as far as production. I think he was number one in the SWAC in tackles. But this is the kicker, though. No disrespect to Arkansas Pine Bluff. That young man was the defense. So if he was the defense and teams were able to neutralize that, okay, now you're saying, well, coach, he should be able to do what he want to do. Listen, even with that being said, people still found a way to neutralize Adams while he was out there on the field during games. I'm just being honest with you. You have to keep that in consideration. Listen, this game is like chess. Everybody has a different move that they're going to make to try to neutralize the next man from doing whatever it is that they need to do to keep them from disrupting what they're looking to accomplish out there on the field. So now, coach is done with that. Move on. We're going to go to Bethune-Cookman. I like what Bethune-Cookman got going on over there. They have a quarterback who played 5 games last season. He injured his hand. Sproggs. This young man, I got to give him his props because one thing for certain, he can spin that ball. He damn sure can throw that ball. Not only that, but Coach Woody got some additional pieces that come into the program on both sides of the ball, the offense as well as the defense. He got his son that's coming in from UCLA. Is it Cal? Excuse me, Cal. Woody III, Raymond Woody III. I believe he'll play safety, free safety strong. He's a defensive back. We're going to leave it at that. Excuse me. I like what they got going on over there as far as the trajectory, as far as the direction that they're going. Last season, man, this dude messed up my house. We're going to have a problem. Excuse me. Last season, the defense was a little, they were ranked 6th in the SWAC as far as points allowed. 26 points per game is something that they allow, which they got to bring that down if they want to be in games and win. When I looked at the games that they lost last season, they lost, 4 or 5 games, total of 6 points, with an average of 6 points per game that they lost. They were 3-8. They win those 4 games. They were in those 3 or 4 games last season. They have a winning record. It's just the little stuff, the mental things. Remember, he got there late based on the debacle that Ed Reed had going on when he was supposed to be the head coach for Bethune-Cookman last year. So all I'm saying is that you got to look at a lot of different things here. It's not, okay, what we see face value right now. Everybody wants to go with that not squeaky, but everybody want to go with that shiny thing that looks so cute and beautiful. That's cool. Y'all know Coach's not going to do that. All right? So that's where I am with that. Now, the offense as far as with Bethune-Cookman, I think they're going to be a lot more fluid as far as play running and, the plays that they run as far as the style of play that they're going to have out there on the field. I think they have more pieces that's in that running back room is going to be something serious as far as with them getting out there on the field running that ball downhill at opposing teams. So y'all get ready for that as well. Like I stated before, Sproggs can throw that ball. He got targets, additional targets that came into the program. That's going to allow them to do what they need to do and be successful. So y'all get ready to watch how Bethune-Cookman is going to come out here and show folks what time it is. Yes, they've had some losing seasons since they've been in the SWAC, but go check their record. They've been kicking some folks' teeth in well before they came over to the SWAC, letting everybody know exactly what time it is when they're playing over the MEAC. So all I'm saying is that, hey, watch what they get ready to do, and let's see how it's going to roll. Now, as far as FAMU and Jackson State, both teams have a substantial number of athletes that's coming back at key positions. Defensive front for Jackson State, as well as the running back room, as well as their wide receivers, they have athletes coming back. They got Rico Powers that just decided to come back into the program. So you already know he going to pop the top off your defensive back core. If they can't cover, guess what? That is your ass, Mr. Postman. You're going to be out there looking like, wait a minute, what happened? Did this man just snatch my drawers off me and have me looking like a fool out here on this field running routes? All I'm simply saying is they have their quarterback, Jacoby Morgan, who will be out there calling plays for the Tigers this upcoming season, or better yet, if by chance some crazy thing happened and there's someone new out there calling the plays, they're going to be ready to do what they need to do to make this thing crack. So all I'm simply saying is that this is what's going on. FAMU, they got to figure out who's going to be their next quarterback that's going to come in there and lead the team now that Musa is gone. You have the talent that's coming into the program. You got a new head football coach, Coach Cozy. I think they got 19 players that's coming back into 19 players coming back into the fold for the Rattlers this upcoming season. So we're going to see how that's going to take place. There's a lot of different things that's going on as far as the teams and the athletes that's coming into play for them. Coach is not sitting here trying to, say, hey, man, well, this team ain't going to be able to do this because of that. Look, I want to see some good football. All of this is objective. Everybody's giving an opinion as far as what they see, what they think. Some folks are going to agree to disagree, while some folks are going to say, hey, you know what? I can kind of see where you're coming from with that, Coach. That makes a lot of sense. Because think about it. The Dark Cloud defense, they allowed 9 points per game on defense, and their offense, I think they was averaging, 20, almost 30 points per game. So think about it. If you had a lot of different pieces that are no longer on the offense, yeah, you're going to see some type of change. But look at the athletes that's coming into the program, in which some of these athletes that are coming into these programs, they actually played. That's the other thing I'm getting at. Some of these folks actually played. So this is going to be, this is another reason why I'm looking at things in the manner which I'm looking at. Now, I saw another thing, somebody said, hey, why didn't you say anything about Alabama A&M? It's not that I don't have anything to say about Alabama A&M. It's the fact that it's too much uncertainty there. As far as, okay, Coach Maynard, are we engaged? Are we looking to go ahead and make this thing pop and do some things that we are anticipating you doing as far as with having this team ready to get out here and play? Again, I've been waiting to see Coach Maynard come out there and strut his stuff, letting everybody know he's back as far as having the team ready to get out there and compete. I'm sure they're going to have this quarterback battle going back and forth. He talked about it during the SWAC Media Day. The kid, I think he's coming from, where is it? University of Miami, Ohio. Leave that plan alone. Knox, leave it alone. Sorry about that. But dog sitting here wanting to play with my daggone flowers, about to have me jack him up. But yeah, you got this young man coming in. He's played 10 games. He's won 5. He's won the MAC championship. Okay, it sounds like you're going to give him the nod as far as what you're looking to do with your program, as far as who's going to lead the program. But again, it comes down to who does the team, which quarterback going to get out there on that field and make that team go. And we're going to find out real quick. We're going to find out real quick. Do I think they're going to end up going with 2 quarterbacks again this season? Absolutely. Absolutely. Because, again, watching at some of the things that took place last season, you can see a quarterback might struggle a little bit in the game, and everybody grow impatient and decide, hey, we're going to pull that quarterback out the game. We're going to go with somebody else. So this is what we've seen over the past couple of years since Akil Glass has left the program. Like I stated before, it's going to come down to finding out who's going to be able to plant their flag in the ground, letting everybody know that they have the necessary pieces to get through and do what they need to do to be successful. Who's going to be able to fight through the murk and mud when the game is tight? Everybody got knots in their stomach out there on the field. Jockstrap might be extra medium. It's got you so tight out there, boy, you out there, you singing alto out there on the daggone field, trying to figure out what you're going to do to help your team win. That is when we're going to find out who's going to separate. Alabama State early on, they will play Bethune-Cookman and FAMU. Alabama State played Jackson State towards the end of the season. So does FAMU. So all I'm saying is there's going to be some great football. My dark horse again is Bethune-Cookman. My 1A is Jackson State and FAMU. Can Alabama State slide in there and do what they need to do to get this thing going? Absolutely. But I'm gonna tell you this. In closing. When I look at Deshaun Watson, Michael Vick, these are quarterbacks that sat, and even my son was telling me a few minutes ago, we was talking about Jordan Love over at Green Bay. Quarterbacks that have sat for a minute, and then finally when they get the opportunity to come out there and play, there's still some rust you got to knock off to get everything going. Get the mechanics going. Get the jitters. Get the jitters out of you. Yeah, the jitters is you might feel comfortable with your teammate out there, your team, because you ain't worried about your team knocking your head off. But when it comes down to teams that you're gonna have to play, they're looking to show and prove and let people know they are who they say they are, guess what's gonna happen? That dial will get turned up a little bit higher, and they're gonna be looking to come out there and show you what time it is. So all I'm simply saying is, do I believe Body can get out there and make this thing happen? Absolutely. Absolutely I do. But I gotta see it. I haven't seen it. Everybody else that we're talking about, in some shape, form, or instance, we've seen some of these folks play. Even some of these athletes that's transferring in from schools, we saw the film on them playing out there on the field, which you say, okay, they got a little something going on, you know. But again, I coach need to see a little bit more. So that's where I'm standing at on that. I just want to give a little bit more context as far as where I was coming from, based on the things that I shared with you guys in the previous show. So I hope that answered a lot of you guys' questions. But Coach's going to go ahead and get up on out this thing. We're going to do the West Side next as far as everything that's happening, because I had somebody over there gave me the business about PV and a couple other teams. So we're going to talk about some things, you feel me? But Coach's going to go ahead and get up on out this thing. But until next time, be the one and lead.